Okay, so friends of the opposite sex. What is your opinion of that?
Before I met you, I used to believe that they were innocent, no harm done if you had friends of the opposite sex. But once you and I started to talk and started to date, I started to see your point of view, which it is my point of view as well. But it's just I didn't need to have no friends of the opposite sex back then when I was single. So before I met you, I was single for the longest time, and I was able to have relationship with friends. With male friends, I actually have better relationship with, or had better relationship with them than girls for whatever reason. I'm not into the gossip
Oh, yeah.
thing. So, but it's good to, or it was good to, play sports or have a drink or very innocent, nothing happening. But now after I met you, I realized that no, I will not have friends of the opposite sex because I don't want you to have friends of the opposite sex because they are not needed in a relationship.
Yeah, right.
Before I had nobody, but once after I have somebody, you, then yeah, I don't believe.
So
in
what
having
about
friends.
previous relationships? I mean, I know you've only been married one time before, but you must have had a serious relationship, somewhere between the time you got divorced and the time you met me. And you maintained your male friends during those as well?
No, I didn't. But I never thought about them being harmful
Oh,
to a
okay.
relationship. I just didn't.
Nobody else ever said anything to you like the other men
No,
you were involved
nobody
with?
told
No.
me. Yeah, nobody had any reasons to say anything because when I am in a relationship, I am devoted to that relationship. So it's not like girls do. Hi, boyfriend, I'm gonna leave you because I'm gonna go out with my girlfriends and have a night out, happy hour, and then stay out for the night.
Now, what about
I
the
wasn't
guys,
the
though?
kind.
Were you okay with them having female friends?
Nobody did when I had relationships.
Oh, really?
Nobody did. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I was lucky, I guess, to have faithful per se and
Yeah,
committed partners.
Right.
But besides my ex-husband, which is the only one who has cheated on me, I've never encountered that in my life.
Oh, because I thought you said one guy did have female friends. I forget. Don't mention any names, but it's not important.
I remember.
But anyway, because typically, like, that's something that's talked about pretty early on.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yes. He used to have female friends, but it was a group that I actually got together with as well.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was no big deal. Like I understood the dynamic of the friendship per se.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a group of people.
Right.
So yeah.
Right,
So
right.
it wasn't anything that I felt harm from or betrayed or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
No.
yeah. Right. Okay, so if the male friends that you have, or had rather, do you think they want to sleep with you?
It's hard to tell. A woman doesn't know. There was everything very innocent.
Okay.
But now because I know women and I know how behave and I have told you how they behave and taught you, you have taught me on how men behave and how they think.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I cannot say no to that question because I don't know. But considering what your suggestion is or how you know they think about, most likely they do.
Yeah, well, I'm a guy. I know how
Yes.
guys think.
Yes.
We're not friends with girls unless you
Right.
want to fuck them. And again, I'm going to hear that a lot. Well, you're so crude. No, that's not true. Bullshit. Any guy who has a girl as a best friend, for the most part, is going to be gay. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. Be friends with all the girls you want. But a guy being friends with a girl, I'm sorry. Guys don't do that unless it's with their spouse or their, significant other
Or
if
they
you're in a
have an
long-term
agenda.
relationship, right? Or they have an agenda. I can guarantee that 99.5 or 6% of men who are friends or maintain some sort of friendship with a woman want to get into bed with her. This is what we do. Not me. That's what men do.
Right.
I particularly am not like that for whatever reason. I'm just not. But men, yeah, there's always, if you smile at them, they're so fucking pathetic. They think you want to fuck them.
Yeah.
My mother used to work at Macy's doing sales there a long time ago when I was in college. And I remember her telling me that she was going to leave the job because her bosses told her that they want her to make eye contact and smile at the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they were just doing to, increase customer service, whatever. And she said the number of men who started to think bad things about that was ridiculous. She said she got to the point where she just didn't even feel comfortable looking at anybody anymore because as soon as she made eye contact and gave them a smile, they thought they wanted to be with her. They thought she wanted to be with them.
Right.
Now, this is my mother. At the time, she was 40-something, maybe 45. And she said she's going to leave the job because she just doesn't feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And now, look, I know my mother. She's not going to be like wearing anything low cut. She's just giving them a smile. And that's how men take it.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes.
Yeah, it
just a
doesn't take
little
much.
fucking smile.
Yes.
And then, before you know it, you got a guy who thinks, he has a chance. And then you get into the respect thing. And for all the guys who are listening, this is how men will operate, just in case you don't know. They will see what you are going to put up with when it comes to their wife. For instance, if I'm going to joke around with someone's wife and I'm going to say something inappropriate, I'm going to see what his reaction is to that. Is he going to let me get away with it? Because if he is, what do you think I'm going to do?
Keep going.
I'm going to keep going. That's right. I'm going to keep flirting with his wife. I'm going to keep doing this and keep doing that. Meanwhile, he looks like a fucking putz. He looks like a fucking little pussy because that's what he is. You can't let anybody joke around with your wife.
No.
You can't.
No.
They mention sex or anything inappropriate, you have to jump in. There are only 3 people in this world I would let speak to you that way. And even they have boundaries. And that would be my 3 best friends from up in New York. And I know that I could let them do that because I know that they would never do anything out of respect for me.
Right.
And the same thing with their wives. I joke around with their wives as well. But it's respect. I have respect for them, and I would never let it get past a certain point. Men that you don't know are not like that. They want to get into your wife's pants. They're going to do whatever they can to make it happen. And it's up to you to stop it, to stand up to them. Because as soon as they believe that you're just a spineless little pussy, they're going to say anything and everything that they want to your wife. And now she's going to look at you like, you're going to say something to this fucking guy or what? You're just going to let him speak to me that way? Like, a good friend of ours who got thrown in the pool.
Yep. I was about to share that story.
That kind of bullshit doesn't happen by accident. No. Or if someone exposes themselves to you. Look, I'm not going to blame anybody for anything, but there's always something that leads up to that.
Yes.
So
for our listeners, we have one person, a female, that had that happened to her, where a male threw her into the pool, and then another male exposed himself to her in a bathroom coming from a restaurant.
Her husband did nothing.
Didn't do anything. Yes.
Right.
So things escalated. Obviously, before he exposed himself, he did other things that her husband never did anything about.
Exactly.
Therefore, the escalation to the exposure.
If anybody ever threw you in a pool, except for those 3 guys, and I guarantee you those 3 guys would never fucking do it.
Right.
I'd fucking kill them. I really would. Of course, don't think I'm going to kill somebody. But yeah, I would absolutely defend my wife immediately.
Of course.
You put your hands on my wife, who the fuck do you think you are?
And I know you are like that. And
absolutely. There'd be a problem immediately.
Yes. In the same way, in the same manner, I will defend you for a woman. If I see a woman that is preying on you, Patrick Hinchy, unfortunately, that woman will hear from me as well. And this is what we have to do. We have to respect each other. We have to make the other person or everybody else respect our spouse because it comes from us.
There's another thing, too. I remember you and I got into an argument. We were at a party one time, and I told you this guy was saying things that to me were inappropriate.
Right.
And he did 2 things. Number one, he put his hands on you, which
shoulder.
I didn't like, on your shoulder. And I didn't say anything, but, that was kind of like half innocent. Some people are just touchy-feely. And then he wound up saying something to you later on. And you and I were by the hot tub with everyone else. And I told you, this guy says something else. One more thing, I'm going to say something because I'm sick and tired of his shit.
Right.
And you came back with, well, it's a Latin thing. He doesn't mean anything by it. Friends, men, women, that is the worst fucking possible thing you could say in a situation like that. Why? Because you are actually defending that person's actions. What you should be saying in that situation is, I understand. I'll be aware of it, and there's nothing to worry about.
Right.
But, when you said that, I remember how angry I got. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's a Latin thing. This is fucking America. I don't fucking care.
Yes.
I don't fucking care.
You did say that, and obviously it took me a little bit to understand where you were coming from. But today I tell you with certainty, the only feelings that I care for are yours.
Yeah.
So if you are unhappy for whatever reason it is, consider it done. I'll fix whatever it is that needs to be fixed, or take care of whatever needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
But your feelings, your spouse's feelings, should come always first, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, because as you get to know somebody, you realize that this person is a reasonable person. That yes, they have the things that make them unique, that they like and they don't like. But for the most part, a couple, men and women, whatever, but just a couple rather, have to be on the same page about stuff like that. Otherwise, it's going to be a constant argument. Because as we spoke about this before, there are women out there who would say, oh, no big deal. Don't worry about it. And okay, so now this guy is going to continue because you have that attitude toward him,
Right.
and he's going to read that energy from you
Right.
and continue.
Right.
And now you've also dismissed me by saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's just a Latin thing. In other words, don't worry about it. There's nothing here. Just
Right.
don't worry about it.
Right.
And I'm not that kind of guy. I'm like, oh, no. We're not doing that. No. Well, and then that's how things start. So my point here is that it's important to listen to your partner
Yes.
and put them first in situations like that. And there have been situations where this has been reversed, where you come up to me and say, hey, so-and-so, whatever. I'm like, okay, not a problem. I don't even ask why.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't.
I'm just like, okay, you have a problem with it? It's done. It's
Yeah.
over. And
Yeah.
that's it. From that point on, I avoid that person.
Yes. And I know because nobody's like you, baby, where you are very adamant. Is that the word?
Adamant,
Adamant
yes.
about it. And I've never met anybody like that, which I love. I love this part of you because this is how it is. It's black and white.
That's it.
Do
Yeah.
it or not do it. But let me know if you're not going to do it, because if this is what I want, this is what I need.
Yeah.
Whenever you have a situation like that, I believe everybody suffers from the same thing. You don't want to make hard feelings or make the other person, a stranger, feel bad.
That's right. Yeah, you don't want to dismiss
Fuck
their emotions, their feelings.
Right.
That's right.
So it's a stranger. You're not going
Oh,
to
wait,
go
wait,
to
you
bed
don't-
with them tonight.
I'm sorry. Wait, you don't want the stranger to feel bad, or you don't want your spouse to feel bad?
People are concerned with how the stranger is going to feel.
Oh, yeah,
They don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
hurt
yeah.
their feelings.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them.
'em
Exactly.
is right.
The one you go to bed with is
That's right.
your spouse.
That's right.
The one that you wake up with is your spouse. The ones you spend your entire
right.
day with is your spouse. That person you'll never see again.
That's right. And
So
you know,
fuck
that's
what
right.
they feel.
Sometimes people are just like that. As I said, this guy just happens to be a touchy-feely thing. And I realize it's a Latin thing. You guys tend to be a little bit different than us Americans are.
Right.
The Italians is very much like that too. I
Right.
raised, an Italian home and all that. But at the end of the day, you just have to make sure that people maintain their boundaries, because people, men and women alike, are notorious for pushing through those boundaries or testing those boundaries
Right.
just to see. And the worst thing you could do is give them the latitude or the freedom to say or do whatever they want to your spouse, because it's a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
It really is. And if you don't have the participation of both people, let's just say, for instance, let's roll back to that thing at the hot tub a couple of years ago when I said to you, this guy says one more fucking thing that's going to be a problem. And I meant it. I was like all set to let things go. And you said, oh, no, he's just being Latin, blah, blah, blah. Now, that would have been a great situation. If he would have said something else or done something else, I absolutely would have done something. And then we would have been embarrassed and told to leave, probably a lawsuit from beating the shit out of this guy, whatever the case may be. Luckily, it didn't come to that. But my point here again is when two people are on the same page, they'll be in agreement.
Right.
So you now know how I feel. So now you're going to avoid this guy and therefore this greatly reduces the risk of any altercation.
Right.
Whereas if you just blew me off and now you go back and flirt with the guy, somebody's getting it. It ain't going to be you.
Right.
Because when we get home, I'm just going to leave. We're just going to have another argument all the same, just the two of us, because now you disrespected me and you dismissed me for the sake of this motherfucker. It ain't even fucking
Who
happen.
cares? Right.
Yeah. So again, when you have your partner participating with you and on the same page, you avoid all that bullshit.
Right.
All of it. And that's the way it should be.
Yes.
You should never give anybody the idea that they can permeate or somehow or another penetrate the boundaries of your relationship.
Of your relationship, absolutely. Now, this goes for people that are like-minded.
Yeah.
Right. So you and I are like-minded, but other people, another guy might not care if his wife is touched.
Yeah.
So be it. Perfect.
To each his own.
Exactly.
If you're okay with that, fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
That's your relationship. You should be doing it exactly as it makes you happy.
Right.
But this is what I said before. If you don't have two people on the same page with stuff
Right.
like that, it's just going to be a fucking constant fucking nightmare.
Yes.
Because you're going to have one who's always going to be flirting and joking around and participating, and then the one who's always going to be pissed off.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have the same boundaries, then it's not going to work out.
And then some people say, well, just do it to her. If she's doing it to you, you do it to her. That's a fucking one-way ticket to nowhere.
Yes.
Okay, so now you're going to be flirting at a party. I'm going to be flirting at a party. Where the fuck does that get us?
Relationship of 4 or 6.
Yeah,
or...
no. That's why the only answer is to leave.
Yes.
If someone's not going to respect you and respect the things that bother you, no matter how outrageous they seem to someone else on the outside,
Yes.
that person is going to be a problem. And then you really seriously have to think about leaving.
Yes.
You have the conversation and say, look, I don't like when this happens. It makes me feel this way. So I need you to stop. I need you to, behave differently in front of other people. And you can have that conversation. And then if you say, well, too bad, I am who I am. Okay, so am I. Goodbye.
Right.
Or if you say okay and then do it again,
Right.
okay, goodbye.
We're talking scenarios where the couple is together, where the couple is together in a party or whatever.
Yeah.
But what about behavior when one of them is without the other?
Well,
How do they
yeah,
behave?
Of course, you should behave the same way no matter what.
Yeah.
But therein lies the problem with men because, and I think men more so than women, when they go out, when the wife's not around or whoever, they, nobody's going to find out. Why
Yep.
not?
Yep.
Whereas I'm not so sure women think like that.
No,
Women,
we're more respectful.
But don't let's not kid ourselves here. Women, when they go for girls' night out and they wear their fucking, skirts up to their ass, they're going out for attention, validation. They just like to be looked at and talked to and everything.
That description that you just gave me just made me think about a single woman that has no relationship, nobody to care for.
Yeah,
But-
you're
but
married like that. You should not be going
If
out
you're
like that now.
If you are married or if you have a relationship, you go out with your significant other.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or if you go with your girls' night out, then do it at normal hours, right before 8
Yeah.
o'clock or whatnot, and dress appropriately. You're in a relationship; you don't require any
Yeah.
attention from anybody.
Yeah, this way, if you're going to go out and fuck, you do your fucking before 8, you come home, and then you
With your-
shower and you're all cleaned up.
Yeah. No,
Right.
the only fucking is with the spouse, and that's it. But yeah, those are people vultures. I cannot
Vultures, yes,
I
yeah.
cannot have this word. That are always around. And because the
That's
guys
right.
are the ones that are more vulnerable because of what we know, you guys
Well,
are
we're
million-
more naive. We're not as, we
You're
don't
not
have
naive.
that sixth sense.
No. You
You
guys
don't
are
think
not
it's
naive.
naivety? No, naivety, whatever.
You
the
guys,
word.
you guys have a signal from a girl,
Mm-hmm.
and then because you have so many sperms just waiting to be released, you go for it. You don't care. You don't think about what's at home. Your family disappears in your mind.
Yeah.
That's how I think.
Unfortunately,
you guys behave.
I'd have to agree with you there.
Yeah.
And, it's just so we're not bashing only men here. There are just as many women who cheat. There are. And they just cheat for different reasons. They do. I don't believe that most women cheat, just to fuck. I just don't believe that. I think a lot of them, some of them do, but I think the overall majority cheat because they're missing something in their relationship. It's usually emotional fulfillment,
Yes.
some words like that, things like that.
Yeah. A woman will cheat because everything that she had at home, the communication that she tried, that she attempted to fix, whatever it is, she already did it for so long that she got tired of it. She see no escape from that anymore. And yes, I agree, she shouldn't be cheating. She should have a communication with her husband and say, look, I already spoke with you for several years. Nothing is happening, so let's just figure it out. What do we do here?
I know there's a lot of people, and you yourself among them, who think that, or believe rather, that everything starts with the man. If the man gave the woman everything she needed, there would never be a problem. That's true between you and I. And it is true, I guess, for some, but, whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, the world is filled with unconscionable bitches, just women who are bitches, and they don't give a fuck. They grew up in an environment where mom did not respect dad. Mom always put dad down. So this is what they have learned, and this is what they do. And, I'm all for showing love and affection as long as it's reciprocated. If you're going to give somebody love and attention and it's just a bottomless pit and she's just going to continue to treat you like dog shit, no, you stop. You stop and you leave and you go find somebody who's going to make you happy.
Yeah, right.
That's
so
the way I feel about
if
it.
a guy marries a bitch, as you call them, he already knew that she was a bitch from the
Probably,
dating,
yeah.
from the dating time. So
Yeah.
marrying her obviously is a mistake or was a mistake. I believe the term bitch, when it's used towards a woman that is already married, that has had a relationship with the partner for like several years, and back to the theory of everything starts with the guy. The
Yeah.
guy is the one who's a hunter. He starts pursuing her. And then whenever all this happens throughout the courting phase, he does things for her. She reacts to that positively.
Yeah,
Then to that reaction, he reacts positively again, and so on and so forth. It becomes a cycle. So, but always it starts with him. And because it starts with him, it can also die with him. The things that he used to do when the courting phase was happening with the flowers, the chocolates, and all that. Give me 1 second. If you guys stop, she stops because she has no reacting to anything towards him.
I agree with that for the most part. However, there are women out there who only marry for money. let's not forget, women are hypergamous.
Yes.
That's it. You're not going to find too many women who are going to trade down. And when they see that, when they feel that, they're like, oh, yeah, this guy, maybe he's not everything I wanted. He's the best possible choice. He's safe and he makes money. But deep inside her mind and her you-know-what, she wants that bad boy, that guy that she just can't control, that guy with just a little bit of an edge who's going to say, hey, fuck off, stand up for himself, rather than a guy who's going to be like, okay, baby, what do you want me to do? Just fucking mull around the house like a little fucking guy with no presence. And I think that's where women maybe turn into a bitch because they married a guy because they know he's the best possible choice, but not exactly what they wanted.
Yeah.
So I think they're more likely to be bitchy toward that guy, no matter what he does.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
If you find yourself in that situation, the best thing to do is just to get a divorce.
That's it. You walk away because
he's not someone that you want, and she's not someone that you married.
It's proven time after time after time. Women love bad boys. I don't know why. They just fucking do. They could say they like the nice safe guy with the dad bod, but there aren't too many women who are going to turn their back on what they consider to be a bad boy, who's good looking and all that. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying they're going to jump into bed with him, but they look at him like, nice. Compared to like if you're the bad boy type, and you could look at that guy and say, yeah, but my husband's better because my husband is the bad boy type thing. What I'm trying to say is you should marry what you want to marry. Yeah. You settle, there's more of an opportunity you're going to turn into a bitch. And I've seen this many, many times. I've seen so many times where guys that I know, they rarely have sex, rarely have intimacy, and they get excited when it's their birthday.
But this is their fault. We already spoke about this. Guys have no idea how to satisfy their wife. They have no idea where the important little dot is. And if they find it, they don't know how to treat it.
You have to admit, you're right about that, because I see on TikTok the videos, and some of them are women saying, oh my God, he's going to want it tonight, blah, blah, blah. There's almost like, there's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Predisposition?
Yeah, predisposition, but it's more like dread. They're like, oh my God, I got to give it to him tonight because I haven't done it in 5 days. That's a woman who's not sexually satisfied.
Right.
The women who are sexually satisfied that I see on TikTok and Facebook, they're like, oh no, not my man. I can't wait. Whenever he wants it, he gets it. That's because that guy's paying attention to that woman.
Yes, or they look for them themselves. The wife will look for intimacy.
Well, yeah, right, exactly. She'll initiate.
Yes, exactly.
And that's it. If you have a wife who initiates, yeah, she's happy.
Yeah.
That means she likes what you're doing to her.
Yes.
But most men don't. You even said yourself, most men suck, but they think they're the fucking shit.
So, baby, when I say must, is like 99%.
99%
well, no,
what?
let's be more fair. 95% have no idea.
No idea what they're doing.
No idea.
And right, and you know what? I've read extensively the psychology and the intimacy about relationships and everything else like that. And number one thing with women, pay attention, guys. Number one thing with women, take your time.
Yes.
Soft, gentle. Don't skip the foreplay. And I don't want this to turn into a sex education class, but we are talking about why women don't want sex.
Yes.
And I believe that, absolutely, because, I think if you take care of her and you really learn her, yeah, she'll enjoy sex and it'll change your fucking marriage.
Yes, 100%.
And
I will tell you that if she goes happy to sleep, she will wake up with a smile. And when she wakes up with the smile, the whole day will go perfect.
Yeah, right.
I used to believe that, happiness was within the sheets.
Yeah.
If everything was happy or good within the sheets, outside of the sheets was going to be good too.
Yeah, right.
It works both ways. Both are important. There's no way that you can do it outside of the sheets with having good intimacy.
Another thing, too, that women mention is they want affection and touching and things like that. That does not lead to sex. So many women I've heard, even on this show and, on TikTok and everything place else, the only time they get any kind of attention or affection is when he wants to have sex.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't blame you one fucking bit. Because if you were like that with me, the only time you ever paid attention to me or did anything was when you want to fool around. I'm like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, no.
This ain't happening.
No. You, again, we'll go back to the cycle. The guy needs to initiate, and everything that he does is important to her because that woman loves him so much that she will multiply everything he gives her. So if it's a little touch, she will touch him back 10 times over. If it's nice intimacy, good intimacy, 100% she will comply with that too. So he won't have to ask anymore. She will look for it because
Right, exactly.
she wants to love you so much because
Yeah.
you know how to love her. But when men lack on everything she needs, they don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
That messes everything up.
There were two things. Number one, you have to find out where this woman's clit is and stay there. Don't go fucking exploring
Nope.
all over the
Yep.
place, okay? Guys, stay in one place. Number two, make sure you clean yourself. You know that most guys don't even wash the crack of their ass
Ugh.
because they say the water draining through is enough?
What?
That's fucking gross.
What?
Fucking gross.
Yeah, that's a new.
I don't remember where I heard that stat, but it's alarmingly high.
Oh my goodness.
And the most important thing of all, men, pay attention to her.
Right.
She will tell you everything you need to know simply by her reaction to what it is you're doing. And I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. When I was young, I didn't know the first thing about eating you know what, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
I watched a video of two women together because I saw this movie that made me think one time, wait a second, who else knows a woman's genitalia better than another woman? So I started watching not lesbian porno, but like instructional, educational stuff about two women being together.
Right.
And I got to tell you, there wasn't one thing in that video that isn't true. Isn't true. Well, number one thing, she said, don't just dive in. This is a thing that has to be warmed up.
Right.
And then she went about displaying, how it's done. And of course, I tried it. First time out of the box.
Perfect.
Worked. Then I went on to the next thing. And then, of course, everything. And then, it definitely helped, my relationship, my marriage at the time. And I also made a lot of friends through life. Just
No, that's an extra. Yeah,
I'm joking. But anyway, seriously. And that was the biggest thing. And when I talk to women, when I hear their comments or even callers on the show, one of their biggest complaints is they're just in it for themselves. There's no foreplay. There's no intimacy. There's no softness. There's no tenderness. It's just a matter of like passing through the important areas just to get it wet. So this way he can go about finishing his business.
Right.
Guys, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah. And you see it over and over and over. As soon as he's done, blows a load. As
It blows a load, yeah.
As soon as he blows a load, he just turned around
That's it.
and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
And she's okay.
65, it's estimated as many as 65% of women have to finish themselves.
Yes, and the husband will never see that. Yeah. She has a toy or something that eventually she will use when he's not around because, she doesn't want to make him feel bad when he should be the one concerned about her feelings.
Of course.
And how fulfilled she is, but no, that never
when
happened.
When I first met you and we first started to be, intimate, I gave you a ratio. What was that ratio?
A ratio of women not...
No, the ratio of you compared to me, like how many times you do compared to how many times I do.
3 to 1.
3 to 1.
Which he came up to 6 to 1.
6 to 1, that's right. That's why it eludes me. It just escapes me why or how men could not be more attentive to their wives.
They don't. As a matter of fact, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with a number that will represent reality because women will never, ever have an orgasm with their husbands. It doesn't happen unless she uses a toy. Period.
No, that's too bad because the information is out there. It was out there for me, and it's out there for everybody. You just have to want to educate yourself.
But all men believe,
that they're
literally
the best.
believe that they are the best. They're the shit in the bed.
Well, whose fault is that? If you're telling them how great it was, I mean, then naturally you're going to reinforce their ego. But if you're not going to come out and say, oh my God, that sucked. Where'd you learn how to do that?
Well, nobody does that. At least not in my generation. Maybe nowadays, the new generation is more communicative. But when we were growing up, we were told not to speak about sex. That wasn't something that was discussed. Your mom never sat with you and said, this is how it's supposed to be. And so, no, that never happened. And kids growing up, they never heard anything from their father about education on how to do it. So you are on your own to see based on what you see on porn movies.
Yeah, that's the problem. Most guys.
And that's the worst
that's
education.
Not it.
No. They are like swapping it and doing whatever to it, and that's not going to get anything done but displeasure.
You could talk to just about probably every single woman on the earth, and they will say porn is not real sex.
No.
And they don't like it.
No.
They don't like maybe younger women do, but women our age, no.
No, I don't think young women. I don't know. I couldn't say that any woman will like that.
I think when you're in love, you feel differently about that person. Now, don't get me wrong. There could be some harder, rougher things, mixed in. But overall, I believe it should be like 90% intimacy, 95% intimacy, and then maybe 5-10% of whatever else you want to do to play around and have some fun.
Something that you nailed when we were dating that you explained
Yeah.
to me, and it made sense 1,000%. Not only on that, but everything else that follows that applies to that. It's, are you touching me?
That's right.
Or
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
touching
yeah.
anyone? And it makes a difference because
Oh, yeah.
I actually know when I'm touching you, talking
Oh,
from
yeah.
how I touch you. When I touch you, I want to touch you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So much versus touching anybody else.
Yeah, what you're talking about is something I discovered a long time ago through my dating life, even before I was married. And then even after I got divorced, between the time I got divorced and the time I met you. And of course, I slept with women. And I never could enjoy it because I'd be like, are you sucking a, you know what? Or are you sucking mine?
Yep.
Yeah, you sucking mine. There's a big, big difference there. And anytime I just felt like they were doing like anybody's,
Right.
I'm like, I'm out of here. I don't need this shit.
Yes.
But there's something magical happens, something like really profound happens when you know or at least feel that she's doing it to you.
When you feel it, yeah.
This is you.
That is
And
special.
that makes all the difference in the world. And the only way, I believe the only way you can really feel that is, number one, if you have a true professional who's really good at it, or when you're really, truly in love and you care about that person and you reach that level of connection and intimacy and vulnerability. That's when you feel that. That's when I feel it. I've never had anybody make me feel that way, at least that I thought was faking it. I guess I'm whatever. I don't know. This is the way I feel about it. But yeah.
Yeah, you notice, you feel the difference. I feel the difference when you are touching me versus, the touching that I received in the past, I guess.
Yep.
But it's one thing, so people understand perfectly, it's one thing to caress your grandmother.
That's the other thing too, the
How
touch.
you caress your wife.
You and I have had this discussion before. You could touch somebody and then you can touch somebody.
Really.
There's a huge difference in that. Huge difference in that. And it's all, semantics and, it could be, debated till the end of fucking time.
Yes.
But those people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And that's the difference between just, having sex and making love or being
Right.
intimate and things like that.
Right.
And yeah, men learn from porno and women don't like porno. And a woman's body is not the easiest thing to figure out.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. But I believe if you love somebody, you care about them and the relationship, you will take your time
Yes.
to figure it out.
To
Because
learn them.
what you get back will be 100-fold compared to what you put in.
Yes.
Because it's strength. Without the intimacy, it's just a fucking friendship.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.